Hey guys, welcome to Golf Ball Addict. Appreciate you being here. Today I wanted to bring up a review I've already done in the past. I kind of wanted to give you an update. I promised I would at the time, and it's been probably close to 6 months, 4 or 5 months, somewhere in there. So I wanted to give an update on it and tell you guys my overall thoughts. There was some comments I got on that video. I want to address those, because I went back and kind of done some retests. And overall, I just kind of want to give you my overall feelings, and that is going to be on the Telos Tee. I hope I pronounced that right. Telos Tee. That I did the review a while back. If you haven't seen the review, you can go ahead and see it. I put it in the description there. You can go ahead and take a listen to it. It was one of the first reviews I did, so I was still learning at the time, and I definitely made some mistakes on it, but I wanted to address those and see overall if my perception of this tee has changed or if it stays about the same. All right, so the first thing I want to address is the consistency issue. So I've had a lot of people get on the comment section and talk about how the consistency does not work if you have an inconsistent swing, and it's really meant more for the consistency of the ball height. I would agree with that it's not going to change your swing consistency. That's a very fair point. However, I will say that on Telos's website, some of the customer reviews, and Telos doesn't say this, or Yada Golf, I'm sorry, but Yada Golf doesn't say this, but they kind of imply that you will get more consistency out of the golf tee. That's pretty vague, so I'm not going to put that on Yada Golf, but I will say some of the customer reviews flat out say, oh, my driver swing is so much more consistent. Just to be clear about that, it does not improve the consistency of your swing, obviously. If you have an inconsistent driver swing, it's still going to be inconsistent, and the ball height won't matter. That's what a couple people said in my comments. I agree with that completely, but here's the problem with that. If it doesn't improve the consistency of your swing, then who's the golf tee for? Because the average handicap is about 16.1 in the world, which means that if you're a 16.1, you don't have an average, or you don't have a consistent golf swing. Anyone who has a consistent golf swing is either playing on tour or is at least under 10. I can't imagine that anybody who had a 16 would have a consistent driver swing. Otherwise, they would have a lot lower handicap than they did. So that would mean that really the only thing this tee would do for you is just make it to where you can kind of take the ball height out of the question. The next thing I would argue is, in that regard, and I can vouch for this because I have friends and family that do struggle with their ball height. Sometimes they put it way high up, and sometimes they put it way low. For me, I've just never had that issue. For me, I can't comprehend it. You put the ball in there, you can gauge the height. I can tell pretty easily whether or not it's the right height or not. Now, there might be a millimeter or centimeter, maybe half an inch difference sometimes, but that's not going to be enough difference really to make a huge enough deal to me, because frankly with this, I was having some of those same inconsistencies. I wasn't getting a consistent height. I was having to remember where I was putting it and count the notches, and overall it ended up still being different, and I spent more time thinking about the distance opposed to just putting it in the ground, so I didn't agree with that. So a little bit of a rant there at the end, but overall, no, it does not improve your swing, and it does not improve the consistency of your swing. But my argument at that point would be, okay, well then it might not work for a lot of people. And if it doesn't work for a lot of people, then maybe they need to find a way to get the target audience a little broader. Another issue I've run into over since I've done that review is that honestly, it's a little too flexible for me. I know it's flexible because the whole point is it's supposed to be durable, but I've tested a tee since then that is not durable or not flexible. It is completely rock hard solid, and I have zero issues with the durability on that one. So with this one being flexible, the issue I run into is in some spots, and I live here in Florida, it is hard to get into the ground. I run into that issue a lot where I just can't stick it into the ground, and I end up getting frustrated, and I end up just using a different tee. And so again, when you're talking about premium tee at premium price, I expect it to be able to go on the ground. So that's definitely something I would encourage Yada Golf to improve on, is find a way to get it in the ground a little bit better, because I consistently have that issue, and I've let a couple of my family members and friends use it, and they had the same issue. They were like, how do you get this thing in the ground? And I said, good question, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, nothing's really changed other than those two things about this tee. It's okay, guys. I just have a hard time recommending it. I wouldn't. And I'll tell you something else. Ever since I've tried the other tee that I reviewed on my channel, which was the straight flight tee, there's no way I would recommend this one. It's not that it's a terrible product. I know I've read the reviews, and there's a lot of people who really like it, and that's awesome. If it worked for your game and it improved your game and you have more confidence with it, more power to you. That's awesome. But I run a channel here, and my whole point of what I'm doing is to try to either recommend a product to you or not recommend a product to try to help you guys. And if I don't feel the product is better than something else out on the market, I'm not going to recommend it to you. That's both a good thing and a bad thing. So I just hope that you understand that's why I'm doing it. But Yeah, I just can't recommend it. There are better tees out there. I hope that Yada Golf can improve on that. I do want to say something positive about Yada Golf, though. Ever since I did that first review, they've actually now got polos on their website, and I will say that I haven't actually gotten to wear one yet, but the designs were absolute fire. I mean, they were gorgeous. I'm definitely going to be ordering some in the future. I want to test them out. I might get in touch with them too to see if, maybe they can, give me a little discount on a couple of them so I can, show you a variety. But the designs were beautiful. I'm a Loud Wild guy, and that's what they were. So I'm definitely going to be trying those in the future. It's good to see that they're expanding their business a little bit. I'd like to see them just improve this tee a little bit, so maybe I can give it a little bit higher remarks. But overall, guys, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you coming back. And keep watching to keep saving. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I got more golf stuff coming all the time. And yeah, thanks for being here.